Two students in Sydney approached their high school principal asking him to support the climate strike. After meeting with Year 11 students Max Tobin and Tom Graham, Newington College Principal Michael Parker acknowledged climate change caused by humans is an urgent issue, particularly for young people, and stated his support for his students taking part in today's strike. We can speak to Max and Tom, who join me now in the studio. Welcome to you. Firstly, Max, what did you say to your headmaster, Michael Parker?
So we discussed the issue of climate change with him and what the school's response would be, because amongst the students there's quite a strong feeling that this is the issue of our generation. And unfortunately, even though it has such a big impact on us, we have very little voice being students and under the age of 18. And so we felt the main way that we could kind of express our dissatisfaction with the way the government's going about it is marching the climate strike. And so in order to get permission to do this, we had to go speak to our headmaster. Mr. Parker was highly receptive to what we had to say, and we discussed the pros, the cons, had a very constructive discussion about it, and then he agreed with us and allowed us to go.
Did it take some work though, Tom? Was it difficult to convince him to let you take a day off school?
To be honest, I don't particularly view it as taking a day off school. I view it as taking a day to experience an education that's more practical in its basing. So there's something inherently educational and informative about going to a strike, and I think that students should go on strikes when they can because it's quite an informative process. He was not necessarily not wanting us to go because our school's position is that if a boy's parents give them permission to go to a strike, the school is going to be supportive of that, just like any other issue.
And so how long have you felt passionately about this issue, Tom?
I probably felt passionately about this issue for about 2 years now. So I went to the March strike, and I've also been heading up local action at school and at home to try and address the issue. And
so I'll come back to you, Max. Tell me, what do you think you achieved with your presence at today's rally?
Well, we definitely bolstered the numbers, which is good, and we kind of increased the engagement at our school. So by having Newington representatives there, I feel as if we kind of showed to students and implied that it was okay to go. And as a result, a lot of Newington boys attended, and that no doubtably had an impact on the atmosphere at the march, the wider message being disseminated, and also showing the government that we're very dissatisfied with the response.
Well, just on that, the Acting Prime Minister, Michael McCormack, and other government frontbenchers today have said that the place for students today, in particular, is at school. Do you have a message for them?
I have a message for the politicians in that they need to regard the student voice and think about the fact that we are the generation that's most affected. And if we are willing to miss out on our education, something that the government and we all view as something that is of supreme intelligence, education is what gives individuals just everything in life. It is so vitally important. If we're willing to miss out on that to protest this issue, then maybe they should take a look at what they're doing about it.
Do you think this is going to be the issue that children and young people lead our politicians on eventually?
Certainly, because it affects us to such a great extent. And our children, our grandchildren, will be the generations which are acutely affected by climate change. We're already seeing countries like Tonga and Kiribati putting contingency plans in place when their countries inevitably go underwater due to rising sea levels. This could happen to us, and our governments have failed us in preparing adequately. And so that's the message we'd like to send to the politicians.
Really interesting to speak to you both today. Max Tobin and Tom Graham, thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.